Someone gave me just one compliment that made my whole day. So please do not underestimate giving compliment. It's a win-win situation. Welcome. I'm your host, and you're listening to Elevate with Noe, your new favorite and go-to podcast. It's about time you tuned in. Come on this journey with me, and let's get it. Hi, ladies. Welcome back to another episode. Girl, how you doing? I'm so glad that you're taking your time, your precious time to tune in to my episode, to listen to me and what I have to share with you. Like, I'm so grateful for you. So yes, girl, let's get into it. So as some of you know, I started a series on networking. So if you're new, welcome. And I suggest that you do watch the previous episode because I do have 2 parts on networking, which is part of the series. I don't know if this is gonna be the last part. Maybe not. I don't know yet. I'm probably gonna bring other stories concerning my networking experience, and it's probably gonna become part of the series. But right now we're at part 3. This is still gonna be 3 tips that I suggest you apply that I've tried on myself, and hopefully it works for you. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And please don't mind my voice too much. I've been out with one of my friends and I screamed a lot at the event that we went to, so I kind of lost my voice a little bit. So I apologize for that. Bear with me. All right, so networking tips part 3. I have my note too, okay? So the first tip I want to share with you is to ask good, open questions. So if you want to get to know someone, you're gonna do what? You're gonna ask them questions, right? For the ones who listened to my previous episode, at some point I did mention that if you ask the wrong question, you might end up in an awkward situation, right? And I understand that we can be nervous when we're meeting someone for the first time or when we trying to make connection or make new friends. And we tend to ask closed questions. So that means that the only answers that are possible from these questions are yes or no. And depending to who you're asking that question to, the person can just give you a flat yes or no. And sometimes they can give you either yes or no and elaborate on it, but it's not everyone who's gonna do it, right? So there's nothing wrong with closed question, but the thing is that it doesn't give enough room for the person to elaborate and for the conversation to keep on going. And if you, again, listen to my previous episode, you know how much it's important for you to let the other person talk, to really let them talk. And if you're someone who's nervous and shy a little bit like me, I think that you should incorporate more open questions. So questions that either start with when, where, what, and why, okay? Mostly the last 2 that I mentioned, trying to have questions that start with what and why. Why did you attend this event? What happened when you did this or you did that? These are giving opportunities for the person you're talking to elaborate and to just let them talk and for you to find more information about who they are, what they like, what they dislike, etc. Okay? I'm not saying that for you to completely brush off closed question, girl. Sometimes when I get nervous, I still ask closed question, and it's only at the end I realize, oh my God, I did not give any opportunity for the person to open up more. So it's not a bad thing. Like sometimes I'm gonna ask someone, is it your first time attending this event? Is it your first time going to this place or that place, etc.? But I always do a follow-up question. Okay? Why? What? Etc. etc. The thing with closed question is you have to think quick of a follow-up question. Whenever you are prioritizing more open questions, it's less likely that you need to come up with a quick follow-up question because the person is just gonna keep on going. And I think this has helped me a lot, and I've really pay attention to what type of question that I do ask people. You really have the best result and the conversation keeps flowing when you ask what, why, where, when, and mostly what and why, okay? Because I feel like especially what and why, you get to the bottom of the subject, you deepen the conversation, and this is what I like so much about the why and the what. So try that, and please tell me what worked for you. What are the questions that you actually ask to people that you're meeting? What's their name, where they're from, etc. These are all things that people gonna enjoy telling you or enjoy sharing about themselves because you are showing genuine interest. All right. This is one tip that I want you to try. If you're too shy, I would highly suggest you to incorporate more open questions. Okay. Tip number 2 is to be more approachable. And I know some of you gonna think, no, this is basic tips. Yeah, but some of you are not even self-conscious what you look like when you're standing by yourself. A lot of you have a resting face, okay? And I'm sorry to say that, but it's very, very true. And sometimes it's not even done on purpose, or you're not even self-conscious that you have a resting face. But the thing is, like, when you're not smiling, people are less gonna feel drawn to you. They're not gonna approach you as much because you're giving a cold vibe. It's like you're communicating, don't come talk to me, I'm cold. You don't want that, because if you're someone shy, you already find it very challenging to go towards people and talk to them. One thing I've noticed is you don't have to approach people all the time. If anything, sometimes people gonna approach you instead. So if you want to increase the chance of people approaching you, you need to be more approachable. And I'm talking about your face and your body language, okay? So let's focus on the face first. Sometimes we can be frowning a lot. When you're frowning like this, people are not gonna feel like you actually want a conversation. So try to be self-conscious and making sure that your eyebrows are lifted here and there. Try to relax your face, because often we have a lot of tension in our face, right? How you do that? Just like when you're meditating, but instead of breathing through your mouth, trying to just be more self-conscious when you're breathing through your nose, because we're breathing all the time. As I'm talking to you, I'm breathing, right? But I'm not focusing on breathing. So what I want you to do is, whenever you feel intense, to really being self-conscious, because just like when you're doing meditation, it's all about staying in a calm state. But since we're in a networking event, or we're an event, we're obviously not fully meditating, right? But what you can incorporate from the meditation is the breathing aspect. So for you to be more conscious of you breathing through your nose, okay? Making sure that you lift your eyebrows here and there, and try to smile, okay? Whether it's with your teeth or without your teeth, but a genuine smile, so it can relax your face and make you appear more inviting to conversation, because you don't know who's checking you out in the room. You have no idea. You're not an owl checking 24 hours who's looking at you, right? But people who are in the room, they are seeing you, even when you don't think that they are. But a lot of people, they see you, that you're there. So this increased the chance of them coming towards you and talk to you, okay? So this was for the face aspect, all right? Now for the body. So I know some of us, sometimes we don't know what to do much with our hands. We feel awkward to just stand there and having our arms right next to our body. One thing that I want you to avoid is having your arms crossed all the time, because it's like you're closed off to yourself and you're not being inviting enough, okay? So I want you to avoid having your arm crossed like this. It's giving a vibe that you're too serious, and that you're not really, that you're either bored or you're not very open to conversation like that. You're just here for business or something very serious. And even though it can be your intention when you are attending this event to meet a business partner, you're here for something very serious, okay? But remember, people need to like you. They need to enjoy spending time with you. So give that vibe, okay? You need to project that vibe towards people, even if it's for you to get something serious out of this. So please avoid crossing your arms. No, just don't do it. Me, I never do it, because I feel like it's not as inviting. If you don't know what to do with your hands, your arms, use hand gesture, okay? If you are already in a conversation with someone and you also want other people to approach you because you know that this conversation with the person is gonna end eventually, use your hand gesture as you're talking, okay? If you're just standing there alone, let's say for example, you have an outfit with pockets, you can slide one hand into your pocket, so that way you don't feel too awkward with your hands. As you're standing, you can have something in your hand. You can grab either your clutch, a drink, your water bottle, or a flyer that the host gave you or someone who is at the event gave you. Hold something. if you don't know what to do with your hand. Sometimes also I see people having their hands behind their back. That's okay. I prefer you to do that instead of you having your arm crossed in the front over your chest. Because at least you're not closed off to yourself. You're more open. I want you to have a nice posture, having your shoulder all the way back so it can really exude confidence. Even though confidence is not only about body language, but more the promises that you give to yourself and to follow through with that. If you're working on your confidence and you want to exude that more, have your shoulder back and have a nice posture, and make sure that your face is not looking down. Make sure that your face has a good level and is toward the person, especially if you're having a hard time keeping eye contact with people. Having your head up is gonna help you. So this already gonna set you up to increase the chance of people approaching you and to making sure that you're having a better experience wherever you're going to a networking event or to any events that you're attending. And trying some of them, tell me what is working for you, what is not working for you, what have you tried in the past? And if you have more tips when it comes to body language, please share them in the comments, okay? If you're watching on YouTube. Now, the third tip that I want to share with you, and the last one, is to give compliments to people. But not any type of compliments, really compliments that are meaningful. Don't give compliments to people that you don't mean. If, for example, you're complimenting a woman on her hair, but you don't like her hair like that, don't give the compliment, okay? Be genuine. What you like about the person, give them a compliment. Especially women, we love compliments, whether it's someone complimenting you on your nails, on your hair, how you're dressed, your scent, the type of perfume you're wearing. We love that, okay? However, the bonus tip I want to give you when it comes to compliments is to give top tier compliments. So what I mean by top tier is literally giving a compliment they don't get enough. So what do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, women, often we get complimented on our looks. Okay, it's all about our looks, our hair, our skin, our feet, the shoes we're wearing, things like that, okay? But when you compliment a woman on things like, oh, I love your aura, I like your energy, I love how you speak, your voice is so beautiful, or I like your mindset, I like the approach that you have on XYZ, I love when you mention that part and that presentation, etc., etc. Or I love that you have this idea of bringing women together to experience that. These are top tier compliments because these are compliments that women don't often get. They don't get enough compliments on their mindset, anything that has to do with their intellectual, their energy, their aura, not enough. From both gender, from women and men. I don't think that they get enough of that. So you doing this or saying that to the person is already outstanding, okay? So you have tried to think outside of the box, even if you don't know the person. For women, I already give you tips. Trying to compliment the woman outside of her appearances. You can still compliment her on her appearances, but add up to something that has nothing to do with that. And tell me how that goes. And when it comes to compliments, I remember one of my friends told me, compliments are so basic, but at the same time, not so basic. It's something so simple to do, but yet we often forget to do. We don't think about it, but compliments can get you very far. I have one of my friends who I remember in university, she went to a program, she didn't know that many people there, and just from a compliment, she started a new friendship with that person, just from one compliment. So please do not underestimate the art of giving compliments to people, the art of giving genuine compliments to another human being, okay? You're giving them literally the spotlight, and people love that when you are giving them attention. They love having a little bit of spotlight on them. Also, the most important thing when it comes to giving compliments to someone else is you make them feel good about themselves. You have no idea, maybe the person was having a shitty day and you just giving them one compliment completely switched their mood or made their day. You have no idea. It happened to me. I was having a really bad day. Someone gave me just one compliment that made my whole day. So please do not underestimate giving compliments. It's a win-win situation. Not only it can make the person like you even more. It can start a new friendship, a new business partnership. It can open doors for you just from a compliment, okay? So please do not underestimate it and focus mostly on top tier compliments. Like I mentioned to you, is literally compliments that the person don't get enough. So women, it's often anything that has to do with their physical appearances. For men, I find it a little bit tricky because men, they don't get complimented enough on their looks. But the problem with that is if you're just here to make connection, and let's say you're talking with a man and you're not trying to have anything romantic with that person, it's tricky to compliment a man on their physical appearance. So what I would do is to compliment them on either their mindset or an event that they had going on, or congratulate them on a milestone that they have achieved or something like that, because it's a bit more tricky when it comes to men, especially if you're just trying to make connection and nothing more. Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky. So if you have tips when it comes to networking with men, please drop them down below. I'm probably gonna have other tips as I'm networking myself with men, but the focus was mostly on women, okay? So if you want to network more with women, definitely use the top tier compliment. It's gonna get you very far, okay? And yeah, and tell me, what are the tips that you want to apply? What are some tips that you have already applied and how it worked for you? If it didn't, or what did you modify? Because don't forget, ladies, that any advice that you find online, okay? Any advice that is given to you online, always take it with a grain of salt. Things that had worked for me might not work for you, but I hope that they do. And because they work for me, this is why I want to share it with you, okay? But I also want to open a conversation for any ladies out there who have amazing tips to share with the rest of the community. Feel free to share them. Don't just keep it for yourself, girl. There's a space for all of us at the top. Sharing is caring. And especially when it comes to networking, like, girl, like, there's no gatekeeping in networking. Like, I think that it's something that when there's great tips to help your girls elevate their lifestyle, elevate their social circle, should be shared. So these are the 3 tips I want to share with you today. And we'll see if there's gonna be a part 4 on, or maybe sharing more stories about my networking experience and lessons to be learned, do's and don'ts. We'll see. Okay, I'm still brainstorming about it. And that's it. So I hope that you found something helpful about today's episode. And hopefully you stick long enough for future episodes that are coming up. I can't wait. There's so many things I want to share with you. I'm still working on it though, so please be patient, but it's coming. Your girl's trying to stay consistent. And also, one last thing I want to tell you is, do not put yourself too much pressure when it comes to networking. You have to let it flow, okay? These tips is to help you, but let's say out of all the tips that I'll share with you, you only apply one, it's okay. Just be genuine, be yourself, and try to apply at least 1 tip or 2, and then keep on going with that. And you can develop your own tricks. As you are going to these events, you're gonna start get out of your shell, be a little bit less shy around people. So I wish you the best of luck with that. And don't forget to comment, okay? Don't forget to follow the podcast, to subscribe on the YouTube channel, to follow us on social media as well. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Like anything in life, everything comes to an end. Yeah, girl. This concludes today's episode. Again, thank you so much for listening. And remember, you got this. See you on the next one. Bye.